This quilt block is inspired by the traditional Marion's Choice quilt block, but I couldn't find this in any of my traditional quilt block books, so I'm calling it Elizabeth's Choice, and today I'm going to show you how to make it. Welcome to Epida Studio. My name is Elizabeth and I help you make beautiful things with quilting, pajagi, and embroidery. So the Marion's Choice quilt block, which I have a tutorial for this if you haven't seen it, is a quilt block that's made with 3 different colors, and it looks like this. And as I was making this with all my 5-inch blocks, I began to think of what it might look like if we rearranged some of the colors. And so I came up with this layout. So we can see that it is similar, but it is not the same. This one has more of the feature fabric in it and less of the dark fabric. And because of the way that the shapes are changed, I did have to make this one in a totally different way. But if you see these on graph paper, they're actually pretty similar. And so because this one is inspired by the Marion's Choice block, but it's not a traditional block that I found in any collections, I named this one Elizabeth's Choice because it's my variation of that. And so this block, it uses 3 colors of fabric: light fabric, where I've used this light kind of beige off-white print, a feature fabric where I've used this yellow, and a dark fabric where I've used this dark red print. So this is another one of my 5-inch blocks. So once you've chosen your fabrics, let's get started making this. So to make this block, you are going to need 5 1.5-inch squares of the light color fabric, 4 pieces of light fabric that are 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and then 12 1.5-inch pieces in a contrasting or a feature fabric, and 4 1.5-inch squares of dark fabric. So we're going to begin with our 3.5-inch long pieces. So we'll need all of those, and we'll need 8 of our 1.5-inch feature squares. And we're going to do a technique called snowballing that you might have seen in some of the other block tutorials. So we're going to actually draw on the wrong side a line from corner to corner. And once that's drawn on, we will line this piece up with the edge of that rectangle, and we'll put them right sides together. And then at the sewing machine, we're gonna stitch right on that line. Now, because these are small enough, you can use my stitch a diagonal line hack. So I have another video that will show how you can stitch that without marking on all of them. But sometimes marking the line will actually help us be more secure in our stitching. So if marking that line helps you, then that's perfect. Go ahead and do that. And if you want to try out my hack, this is a good chance to try that. So look at the other video about that. But we're going to take 4 of our squares so that each one of our rectangles has one stitched onto the end. So once you have that stitched, then we're just going to trim away the corner from that and trim it about 1/4 inch away from the stitching line, but it doesn't have to be exact because our stitching is already there. So we don't need 1/4 inch seam allowance to measure to anything. And then once that is trimmed, we're going to open that up and press that. So now we have a piece that looks like this. So now what we're going to do is you're going to take your other 4 squares, mark the diagonal, and we're going to stitch those on this way. So pay attention to notice that the angles are going in opposite directions because we want our finished piece to be a trapezoid in the middle. Don't stitch it the other direction because then you'll end up with this shape, which is a parallelogram, which is a fun shape, but we don't need that for this block. So just pay attention to the orientation. We're going to repeat the same thing on the other edge of all these pieces so that we'll have 4 trapezoid shaped pieces. So when that's complete, we'll have 4 pieces that look like this. Now this looks kind of similar to a flying geese unit, but it's not exactly the same because we can see that our triangles don't touch in the top. but it is kind of like a wide flying geese piece. So now we can put those aside for right now, and we're going to make a little 9 patch that's going to go in the middle of the block. So for this, we're going to start with a light color fabric in the middle, and then we're going to put a dark square at north, south, east, and west. And then our feature fabric in the corners. So this is going to be joined just the same way you would do any 9 patch block. If this is brand new to you, I do have a tutorial that explains how to do a 9 patch block, but we're just going to join our squares together into rows and then join the rows together. And in this situation, I would press all the seams toward the dark fabric. So these seams will be pressed under there, those seams will be pressed that way, and that will help to hide the seams under the dark fabric. But also, because our seams are in opposite directions, it will help the rows join together more easily. So I'm going to go ahead and make the center 9 patch unit. So now this little piece is done, and this should be 3.5 inches square. And that is going to be just the size we need. This is going to be the middle of our block. So it's this little 9 patch, and then we're going to put these pieces at north, south, east, and west, are trapezoid pieces. And we want the triangles pointing away from the middle. So we're not lining up those triangles with the matching fabric. We're putting them this way. And so we have these diagonal lines going straight across on all the corners. And then in the final piece in the corner is going to be our light 1.5 inch squares. So this should all match up to look like that. And now when we have this, we can see this is 3 across and 3 down. So we're going to join these together again, just like a 9 patch. We'll join these pieces into rows and then join the rows together. Now in this case, for the pressing, because of these diagonal lines, I want to avoid pressing those diagonal lines back onto themselves. So in this one, I'm going to press the seams toward the light corners. And then in this row, I will press the seams toward the 9 patch block. And then when we're going to join the rows together, we can't avoid that one of the seams is going to be pressed onto itself, so that you can kind of choose what you want. It doesn't really matter which way you press those seams, but we're just going to join these pieces into rows and then join the rows together. So here is the finished block. This block is 5.5 inches square, and we can see the resemblance to the Marion's Choice, even though it does look totally different. You can see where the inspiration came from. So have you ever taken a traditional quilt block and just changed a couple things to make it totally your own? I'm curious to know. That's one of the great things about quilting, is that if you see, especially a traditional quilt block design, you can easily just change a couple colors, rearrange a few pieces, and make a piece that is totally unique to you. So drop a comment and let me know if you've ever done that, or if you enjoy that, or if that's kind of overwhelming for you. If you're looking for more traditional quilt block tutorials to give you ideas for ways that you can do this, then I have a whole playlist of both these 5-inch blocks and blocks of all different sizes. So you can find that here on my channel or at my website, epidastudio.com.